Pork belly cooked like you've never seen before. Let's go! Vamos. Okay guys, today we're gonna cook this pork belly asador style. We are mixing Mexican, American culture with Argentinian culture. Skin off, I did it 1,000 times, but skin on, I did it a few times. So I don't have it nailed it down yet. So today we're gonna try something different. I always start cooking skin side. What happened to me last time that I almost overcooked the skin. So today we're gonna change the strategy. You know, I always said we have to start cooking the piece of meat where the protection is, when the bone is, where the membrane, the fat. That's how we always start cooking, and the majority of the cook is gonna be in those sides. That said, the logic thing to do is start cooking on the skin side. But like I said before, I almost overcooked the skin, and then on the other hand, the pork belly has so much fat that it's almost impossible to dry it out. The worst thing that can happen, you're gonna crisp it, but it's still in the inside is gonna be juicy because of all that fat. So the strategy for today, we're gonna cook meat side first, and then when we have almost like 50% done the meat, we're gonna flip it and we're gonna cook it on the skin side. And if we need to, we're gonna flip it again and finish it. See how it's thicker here and more like thin here? We're gonna squirt a little bit the meat so we can cook it even. Only in the thicker part. We already talked about the strategy. Now let's talk about seasoning. We're gonna do two types of seasoning, one on the meat side and one on the skin side. We're gonna use, my friends, Blazing Star. He has the pork and rub, he has the Reaper rub, and he has the Scorpion. That's the same rub with different levels of heat. This is the hottest. Okay, thank you, sir. Remember, I mentioned this before. Blazing Stars, they use sugar, but they use cane sugar. So the cane sugar, what it's gonna do is gonna resist more the heat, and it's gonna melt, it's gonna burn, but it's gonna resist more. Remember, I always said, open fire is more aggressive on the meat. Whatever you're gonna put, it's gonna burn, mainly if it's that sugar. Now we're gonna put on the skin side, we're gonna put like a little layer of olive oil, and we're gonna put sal fina. It's fine salt, not my salt, not coarse salt, fine salt. And we're gonna put a lot, and trust me, trust the process, okay? Don't think it's too much. The salt is gonna dry the skin, dehydrate, and it's gonna help the crispiness. Actually, you can do this overnight if you want. If you wanna leave it like that overnight, and then you take it, and it's gonna be even better. Today, we don't have Santi with us. He has some issues that he's attending, so we love you, Santi. Vamos, we're gonna miss you, eh? Pero we have Angelito here, part of the crew. You see him in another videos too. Angelito, send me the cross. Angelito, everybody. Vamos, carefully. This is the thicker part, okay? So I'm gonna show you later how we're gonna use it, okay? Here, my Quentin Tarantino, my camera and director, recommended that we go over there, right next to the house with a beautiful view. Angelito made the fire already. We're gonna cook today on the Orin grill. Everything is set up. Let's go. Vamos, let's go. Vamos a la parrilla. Let's go to the grill. Vamos. And now is when I miss Santi. Fuck, this thing is heavy. Alrighty guys, okay, as you can see, we have the Orin grill. We're gonna cook asador style, beautiful fire, Angelito. When we have some embers, we're gonna put them right here so we can have an even heat. We still have wind, but I think we're gonna do good here, not a big deal. So I'm thinking like we're gonna cook it 1.5 hours in this side. Let's see how it looks, and then we're gonna flip it. We're gonna cook it for another 1.5 hours, and then we're gonna have an extra hour to finish it. I'm guessing the total cook is gonna be 4 hours, but like I always said, you never know with open fire. Let's see what happened. Let's adapt to the conditions. Okay guys, like I told you, we're gonna do like a crispy pork belly tacos. I did kind of this same recipe, and I call it al pastor on my Instagram, and I had a lot of hate from the Mexican guys, and they're right. Don't call it al pastor just because you have pineapple, but still, I like the recipe, so I'm gonna repeat it. It doesn't have a name. Remember, I always fusion everything. So we're gonna grill this pineapple over the fire, and we're gonna put it on the taquitos later, and we're not gonna call it al pastor, okay? Don't get so offended. We're gonna season our pineapple. Now we're gonna use the pork and rub. It's like the other one, but not as spicy. And we're gonna cook this right next to the thing. It's not a difficult cook. You just have to forget that it's there. Even if you burn it, it's not a big deal. You know, this is a big ball of water, so very difficult to mess it up. Now it's a waiting game. Remember, patience, always. Open fire is like that. Control your fire. Remember, you are in charge. The wind is blowing that way, so it's good. But if the wind changes and it starts blowing this way, we're gonna put this thing up. We have to control this heat. I like it, man. I feel like going slow today, you know? Sometimes you wanna go hard, sometimes you wanna go slow. Right, Brandoni? Right? Yeah. Let's go. Let's keep it slow. Let's go, baby. Almost. 1 hour and 30 minutes. We're burning this, so we're gonna put it up here. And the sun is out. That's not bad. It's cooking faster in the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're not gonna turn it. We're gonna flip it. Same angle. I think we're gonna cook it this side for another 30 minutes, and we are ready to flip. Vamos. Okay guys, we need to adapt. Quentin Tarantino here, he liked the fact that we can shoot outside because it's so cloudy, and now we have a bright sun, and he's complaining about that the whole film is gonna be super bright, and so it's not gonna be bueno. So now we need a shade. We can't take this to the carport because it's impossible, but what if we take it down there where that shade is? We used to cook out there a lot, okay? Angelito, are you ready? I'll hold it from here, okay? If somebody gets hurt, it's on you, man. It's on you, Quentin. Thank God I have my Crocs, dude. That's gonna help too. Yeah, baby! Woohoo! You got it? See what you did, Quentin? Dude, what the fuck? What is that? That's a chupacabra right there. Mel? What is this? Okay, all that exercise, beer o'clock, baby. Woo! Best beer in the world. This is what it's all about. Having a fire, cooking, cerveza, amigos, friends. You can't get better than this, guys. Can't get better than this. Salud. 2 hours in, I like the color that I'm seeing. I'm ready to flip. But remember we said in a previous video that we're gonna start measuring the temperature. For me to explain better to you, I'm gonna start using thermometers. I never used it before in this type of cook, so I don't know what it's supposed to be. For me, in my head, in my experience, it's time to flip. But let's see, for your reference, what's the temperature. 138, whatever that means, I don't know what it means, but open fire cooking, guys, it's like you cook from one side and the other side you have nothing. It's not enclosed. So using thermometer could be tricky. If I put it in the middle, it's gonna say something. It's gonna put it towards the fire, it's gonna say something way higher, and then the back it's gonna say. So for me, it's very confusing. But let's say in an average, we have a 140, time to flip. Vamos. Okay, guys, hey, come here, man. I wanna show you something. See now the salt here? We can take it away or leave it. That's not gonna change anything. It's gonna end up falling off for sure. And again, it's not gonna be salty, trust me. So we can do like that and take it or not. We don't care. But let's flip it now. We can call it the Colombian special. Don't put that, man. Don't put that. Heat it like it owes you money. In my book, it says like we're gonna take another 2 hours in this side, maybe an hour and a half, but we never know. I'm gonna spread some coals here. This part of the skin, it can take more heat. Remember, I told you we're gonna do tacos. We can't have a taco without a salsa. So we're gonna start making our homemade sauce, inspired by my friend Arnie Tex, the one and only Tex-Mex king of the world. Good friend of mine. I love you, Arnie. We have a jalapeno, we have tomatillo, we have onions, garlic, serrano pepper. Remember, guys, I always tell you, Mexico and Argentina are way different. I'm learning so much about the Mexican culture and I freaking love it, dude. There's nothing that I love more than Mexican people, Mexican food, everything. But again, I grew up so different. We don't have this in Argentina, we don't have this in Argentina, and we don't have this in Argentina, believe it or not. In Argentina, everything is red wine and red meat. That's it. And pasta and pizza, that's it. That's the beauty about, cooking, learning, get inspired for other people like Arnie. I don't know, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Let's mix, guys, let's mix, all of us. Now that's a good message, right, with all this shit happening. It's gonna be like a fast char, burn a little bit, cook a little bit, nothing crazy. The garlic, you're gonna put it like this. But again, it's gonna be a quick roast, and then molcajete, and we're gonna have a salsa verde, baby. Alright, now the salsa, we're gonna make the salsa, the stems. Alfrugoni, salt and pepper. Alright, Angelito, vos dale. I want to show you this, look. We add some coals here. We add some embers. We're cooking just with firewood, but I need to build some coals to put them there and help the cooking process. Nothing wrong with that. Lamb charcoal is always good. We're like 30 minutes in since we flip it. I don't see any changes, so we're gonna crank up a little bit the fire. The wind kind of died, so again, adapting. So while we wait, what do you say, Ben? Yep. Let's do it. 1 hour in since we flip it, and let's do a checkup. The skin is crispy, see? As you can see, because of the wind, again, it's more cooked here, not so cooked there. We still have spots that it needs to crisp more. I like how it's looking. We are taking it super slow. Remember, the wind is not helping. No rush. Remember, I always said patient. We're having a good time. We're drinking beer, having a cigar. This is part of the process. I will keep it here for another 30 minutes. Maybe in 30 minutes, we're gonna flip it to even this part. But I want to have all this crispy before we flip it. And we're gonna add also a few coals here. Let's keep cooking, okay? Boom! The firewood is gonna generate embers, mainly the post oak. They're not gonna be as big and as resistant like lamb charcoal. That's why we love to mix firewood with lamb charcoal. I like it. Now we're like 4 seconds. Now it's a high heat. But remember, we have the skin side, we can do that. We're not gonna dry it. If we see with like the skin is popping, it's getting burned, we're gonna adapt again. Let's leave it like that and see what happens. 1.5 hours in since we flip it, and now we need to adapt because the wind doesn't stop. The wind is kind of going like that way there. As you can see, I still have to cook here, but I don't want to flip it yet because that's not done. We're gonna adapt. We're gonna drop it 1 notch. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have I would say a medium high heat right now. Let's keep cooking. Vamos. That was fast. It only took us 10 minutes and we already crisped that zone. This zone here, see? It was almost there. It needed just that heat there. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna flip it. We're gonna put it upside down just to cook this part. Okay? I think that was 1 hour and 45 minutes since we flip it. And I would put it like that. I like this. I like this level. The pineapple is done. I know it looks depressing, all burnt and dry, but trust me, trust the process. This is gonna be good. Now we should be alert, guys, okay? Now we should be alert because we are almost there. This is the moment that you don't wanna leave the cook because you can overcook or burn stuff. Even if we burn, the skin is not gonna be bad. The inside is gonna be delicious. But after all this work, we don't wanna, just for looks purposes, we don't wanna mess it up. Another 10 minutes and look at this. Look at that, the skin is done completely. Now it's time to make decisions. I think it needs a little bit more here, but again, it's impossible to cut everything even, I don't want to keep cooking for this part and then burning this part here. Now, this is my thoughts, okay? Ben, come here with me. I want to show you something. Like I said before, knowing this cut and cooking it a few times, different styles, I know it has to render more fat. And if I look here, and if you see on the side, that fat is not rendered enough. I need that fat to render. 80% of this is already cooked and it's very delicious, but I feel like I need to cook it more in this side. So let's recap. 1 hour and 30 minutes in one side, and then in 20 minutes we crisp the whole rest of the skin. So that's a total of 3.5 hours. I think we're gonna cook it 30 minutes more in this side and let all that fat to render. And again, I'm not scared on drying out because, like I said before, I think it's very, very difficult to dry up a pork belly. 30 more minutes, I'm thinking maybe more, but that's gonna be a total of 4 hours. That's what I thought at the beginning. But if we need to cook it more, we will, because the food is done when it's done. Boom! OMG. Come and check this out, boss. We always forget, just remind me to temp it, to understand where we at. 168, let's see here. All right, well, let's keep going. I don't know what that means. Now we're gonna warm up the tortillas, okay? If you're Argentinian, you say tortillas. If you're Mexicans, you say tortillas. And if you're American, you say tortillas. Right? If you don't live in Texas and you don't have an HEB with you, you're out of luck. But this is what the things that you can get in your local HEB. Check this out. Fresh made corn and flour tortillas. Do you have an HEB close by? See how sad this looks? I'm gonna get tired of saying it. I like burned. Okay guys, That was just 30 minutes more. We are in 203, 201 in the bottom. Time to take it off and check this out. Black, but doesn't matter. Let me show you something. See, it's just the caramelized fat. Look inside. I like this cook, man. I really like it. Let's go, baby. This is when I miss Santi. Santi, where are you? Guys, the moment of the truth. I need a decent knife. Okay guys, this was a very fun cook. The beer flew very good. We had a cigar. We got a good conversation with Quentin Tarantino here. That was fine. We're gonna cut it. We're gonna do strips and then we have to cut it to fit in a taco. Woo! Guys, it looks fantastic, okay? Now again, we're gonna cut it so we can build our taquito. See what I mean about being burned? Oh, look, see what I mean? It's almost impossible to overcook a pork belly. Look at the moist. Okay, the moment of the truth, okay? Ready? Yes! Wow! Oh my god. Oh my god. Juicy, it's excellent, it's seasoned to perfection, not salty at all. Check this out, check how moist it is. You still have the bite because it's grilled, not smoked. Crispiness of the chicharrón. Oh, mamma mia. Vení, Angelito. I'm telling you. Let's build our taquito. Warm corn and flour tortilla. Let's put the pork belly crispy, some pineapple, not too much, salsa verde. You know how you say salsa verde in English? Salsa verde, that's how you say it. Some onions, cilantrito, of course, lime. And somebody told me, a good friend of mine, Mexican, told me, si cierra no es un taco. That means if it closes, it's not a taco, okay? Let's go, ready? No word. Honestly, it's probably one of the best recipes we did so far. It's absolutely delicioso. Okay guys, this was a very successful cook. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And if you want to see something new, comment. We love to hear you. Subscribe if you find any value on this type of content. We're gonna eat a lot now. That was pork belly crispy tacos. Vamos!